Okay, I just started recording again.
So where's our West Coast guy?
He's busy doing something. Caleb is he's out. I don't remember what he said he was doing, but he said he's doing some work stuff before he goes to Dome or something like that.
Oh yeah. So they got Dome this weekend already, and then
we got Dome this weekend. We already got a preview whenever we get there. But yeah,
I know not Dome, but one of the California races. There's a few cars going out west.
Oh yeah.
Here, I know at least Trices and Farwick, obviously.
Hold on. We'll get there in a second, but I want to knock out some things to start the show.
Okay.
The intro I'll make later and all that stuff, but
insert random music here.
Exactly. Okay. Anyway, this is the very first episode ever of Paddle Talk. This is the World Sand Drag News. Can you guys hear me?
Yep.
Yeah. I got you.
Check 1, 2.
There we go.
There we go. Sorry about that. So this is the very first episode of Paddle Talk, is the new official World Sand Drag News podcast. This will be released on Spotify and YouTube, and we'll be plugging it on Facebook. That'd be interesting. My mic keeps going in. Okay. Anyway, am I good? Y'all hear me?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Good.
Okay. Cool. So
audio is good.
I am Billy Teeters. Joining me today, we have from Isaac. Tell us where you're at and who you are.
Hey, so I am, for those that don't know me, I am Isaac DeHaan. Been involved with Pro Trucks since kind of its inception. I was track announcer at West Michigan Sand Dragway, then West Michigan Off-Road Raceway, then now Silverback Off-Road Raceway at some different points in time. Done a fair amount of racing. I was also announced and did some tech and some staging work for NSDA back in the day. Those of you West guys may remember that. So I have been to Dome, I've been to Lake Elsinore, Hemet, Prim, some out west stuff like that. So I've gone around a little bit. So yeah, I'm currently at my home, Hamilton, Michigan, about an hour and a half south of Silverback Off-Road Raceway. So yeah, but good to be on board, and yeah, hopefully we can bring you some good content this summer.
For sure. Yeah, we're going to keep up this podcast throughout the whole year. We're going to try to have an episode at least once or twice a week, depending on what availability we have with everybody. Damian, your turn. Tell everybody who you are and where you're from.
Damian Bowers. I'm from Liberty, Indiana. Race regularly at Franklin County Four-Wheelers, Gravel-Rama. We used to have the track Union County Speedway right here outside of town, Liberty, Indiana. Been in the sport my whole life because, well, my dad started racing back in late 80s, early 90s, and just it's kind of devolved from there. Finally got something a little quick, finally.
Yeah, well, you see, he's Damian's very committed. He's got his Jeep right behind him there, and it kind of looks like his Camry door. So we are I'm Billy Teeters. My home track's Thunder Valley Sand Drags. I live in Topeka, Kansas. Starting this year, I am no longer track staff. I am just a racer. I'm just a spectator and doing a little bit more media for World Sand Drag News at those races and whatnot. So that'll be fun to get out there and hang out with the family for a little bit, take some break and not be working so much and get tits and then possibly be punched in the face by more old men. So as we move on with the show here, we're going to kick it over for an ad read, and then we're going to get started with just a quick talk about the 2023 season. Hey, we'll get back to the show in just a second, but we got an ad read for America's Oasis. America's Oasis, the premier recreational sand resort next to Little Sahara Park in Winoka, Oklahoma.
They provide a variety of ways to stay near Little Sahara Park. Choose from a daily, weekly, monthly, or annual reservations in one of their cabins, barns, or RV spaces, or primitive camping. Only intending for one day, they also offer daily parking and event passes. And they have many different ways to play. You can take your pick from a variety of on site amenities, from fun recreation to everyday conveniences and planned activities, or the local area, and find a variety of ways to adventure off site. They also have racing tracks. If you're looking for a fun and exciting activity, look no further than the racing tracks. It's a great family activity that the whole family will love. They also offer short course racing, where you can find a victory that awaits at every turn. Start planning your getaway at americasoasis.com. That is americasoasis.com.
And just and I know we got Isaac and Damian here. Isaac more familiar with the mainly Michigan area of the sport. Damian kind of Ohio, Indiana, and some Michigan areas of the sport, and then as well more East Coast things as well. When you get into the East Coast Four Wheel Drive Association, me myself, I am the more Thunder Valley Sand Drags, which is Missouri, and then
Midwest.
Midwest-ish basically. And then Caleb Mings is not on the show tonight, but he is getting ready for Dome Valley, which is this weekend. We'll get to that preview later on, and we'll have race picks for that as well, for at least for who we know is going. But right now for the 2023 season recap, I'll kind of go first, and I'll just make this brief about our area itself. It's pretty good. Thunder Valley Sand Drags had a pretty good year. Ups and downs, of course, just like every other track does, but finish the season on a good note. A big race finish every year. We had a decent turnout. I can't remember if we had like 11 top eliminator cars, something like that. We ended up having 4 top alcohol cars, that was cool to see. Stephanie Kimberly getting the win against Kyle Farwick in the finals of top alcohol. So seeing that little small block trying to break its own record at our track was pretty cool to see. Atoka season is always a blast. I love their point series. I love going to their tracks. I mean, it may not be as fast. You get great mile power there. You may not get the ET you probably want. Randy Campbell probably argue otherwise. But man, it is it is
Claim he'll hook on putting paddles backwards.
he'll tell you. Randy will tell you he'll run a number any goddamn way. It don't matter. No, they finish with that belt race every year, and it's just so cool. The winner of that race, they take home like a WWE belt, and what it is first and second place of all classes, juniors, and then all the adult classes. First and second place throughout all year. Bracket race in the last race of the year for the belt, and it's pretty cool. I like going to that. The only one I ever went to, I went to 2 of them. The first one I went to, Bobby Kincaid won the belt, and the second one I went to, I think it was Anthony Moss that won the belt. So yeah, anyway, that was a quick little recap. I know it wasn't that good, but this podcast is going to be probably not that good also, but appreciate anybody that listens. So we'll go with Damian. Quick little review of the 2023 season for the Outlaw and Gravel Rama and everything like that.
Gravel Rama, we don't really have a point series at that track other than the Outlaw series comes there for the spring race. And the Outlaw series, you had King of the Outlaw was Adam Rowe. Shame we weren't able to finish the series properly. Mother Nature won at the last 2 races of the year in this area. Friday night at the Franklin County finale, you had the 4-0 class, which Carson Combs won. Brian Jones was going after him, and I'd put Carson out in the second round. So it was wide open as to who could have won that.
Let me just say real quick, Carson Combs was on a tear at the beginning of last season. He was just winning. He was winning them all.
You put together a car like that, and it's kind of hard not to win. It's light, low power, a lot of tire, It's the same up in Michigan. It's the same out where you're at. It's going to turn the same number of times on those tires every pass. Before he blew the first motor up at the spring race where he won over John Sorg in the finals, he was running consistent 4.0s. They got the motor from Trice. They went to the final 3 or finals in Michigan. He won the big money race at Cleves. And then at the end of the year, they were trying to detune the motor so much, just trying to get it to run the 4.0, because at this point it was running 3.8s, 3.7s. I can't remember who won the 350 class off the top of my head. I'd have to go look that up. I know 450 index class, which is kind of an oversimplified version of pro truck, really. 450 and faster, dial into the 10th. We don't have any body limits, any chassis limits. It's just if it's a car or UTV, it fits.
I see.
And that came down. It was going to be me and Blake Cole racing for it, and we ended up tying because we weren't even able to make time passes for that race due to Mother Nature being a pain. Let's see.
It sounds like Mother Nature was the real points series winner.
Yeah, Mother Nature won a little bit this year. Then at the Franklin County again, Carson Combs at the top of the board. He was able to get an early lead out at Franklin County and just able to keep the lead stretched out enough to where he was able to end up with the points win there. 350 class, I believe, was Ryan Wilson that ended up winning that, because they only got the one round of racing and no one was able to make up the ground, especially with the Portangas not willing to travel down here and race with this series, even after Jay was flying up there in Michigan with his little blue Alder up there at the Outlaw Series racing King of the Outlaws class. And obviously, we have Gravel-Rama, our biggest race of the year, our one oddball race, weight to cubic inch. It's old school class racing for the East Coast guys still. We're actually this weekend, we have the Franklin County Four-Wheelers banquet coming up and rules meeting coming up for the IOK to see if we need to change anything or see what we need to do with that.
Okay.
Now, I'd say that's probably a good one to step it on over to Isaac for.
Yeah, we should make these little. I just said that you could talk, you could keep talking forever. I should have told you to minimize it.
I tend to rattle off a lot of info.
Yeah, it's all right. It's all right. You gotta tame the squirrels every once in a while. So, all right, Isaac. Just a quick review of the Michigan Silverback, I should say. I don't know, Silverback.
So, yeah, so Silverback first summer having those guys, Penoyers, being in charge. I can just say personally myself was really impressed at how they kind of took the bull by the horns a little bit, and they did things their way, so to speak, and it went really well. I mean, I was really impressed the couple times I was up, just on how things went. They have purchased another tract of property adjoining the track now. Not sure exactly. I've heard some rumors about what kind of is going to happen with that. But it's good excitement. I mean, there was a lot of excitement when the previous owners had bought the track. Things didn't quite pan out, I think, kind of how everybody thought they were going to. And with Silverback stepping up, it really kind of injected something back in, here these last 2 years at Silverback, and really coming along nicely. So came along really well. John Sorg, I believe, won sportsman points. Yeah. I'm not even sure who won pro points, to be honest with you. I didn't make it there enough to know. Again, Mother Nature won out, I think, more. I think they lost 2 races over the summer to weather. We personally had lost 3 other races we had planned on going to that got rained out or canceled at the last minute. Auburn Cornfest got literally canceled week of the event over some insurance issues. I mean,
shame we couldn't get a large group of them to come and try and run with the Outlaw Series, because that was that same weekend.
Yeah, but we can touch on maybe some of that later, but there is definitely
A market.
not yeah. I was gonna say just and the faction's not the word I'm looking for, but something like that of
Different
guys
style of racing.
that will not make the trip over to the west side.
Real.
They love running heads up. They love running, the fair type stuff and that sort of thing. And that is really, they'll run 300 foot, but not really their preferred, thing to do. You'll see a lot of the same guys will show up at the snow hill climbs and stuff like that. You see some, and they've got some fast stuff. I mean, it's not slow by any stretch of the imagination. So that's what's really kind of crazy about it. But really good diversity. I was over to Greens, which is another track over by Owasso. It is literally in a guy's backyard. Reminds me a lot of Dome as far as being in Ernesto's backyard. That's kind of the same setup up there. Not a track that could handle a ton of cars just because of how it's set up, and everything like that. But good track, great track to go test at. Oh man, I mean, we went tested there last spring and excellent. They really did things well, kept things moving. But just the amount of space they have, I think you'd have a hard time getting 100 cars in there, type of thing. So that's pretty much what the summer was here, and then you've got stuff, kind of one-off events, like Damian talked about with, gravel. We've got, stuff like the Hayfield shootout, that sort of thing, that pop up around here, which are very, different from what we're used to, but it's kind of some cool heads up stuff too. So
it's a massive race every time you see it, and it's just, you see all the duners, you see all the really hot, you see mud cars, you see all sorts of different combinations at that stuff. Like Nick Wager, I know that the Hayfield shootout, it's 300-foot race. If people that are watching this, they go to that, you beat one of our records and your car meets the rules, get us the time slips, 1% back up on both ET and mile an hour, because I know Swager's been in the teens, and I believe that car's under 115-inch wheelbase.
It is.
Oh.
Flat out fast out about it. In Centerville in September, that was the race I kind of thought some of those other guys would show up at, and there were some timing issues. It happened. One of those things. I think everybody has seen Brendan Whitgen. Shout out, Mr. Fireball. I mean, I think everybody's seen that video at this point in time, type of thing. But,
I know as a PRI, he still has
and
my quick notes.
I'm down.
Uh-oh. He's down.
I'm back.
He's back. Okay.
Too many jars?
Isaac, you're it says your internet's slow for some reason. It says your bandwidth is low or something like that.
All right, hold on.
Okay. My quick thing about, you were talking about greens. The only thing I gotta say about that is Scott Garula actually proved that was a fast track whenever he ran like a 332 or 336 or something like that with his buggy at that track. So that was kind of cool. And I forgot
that's legit. I mean, they put a lot of work into that thing, lengthening it out, because for a long time, that track was kind of known for not having a ton of shutdown, and a lot of fast guys wouldn't go there. So,
Well, good on them for making it good enough for the faster guys to go. I forgot that I'm not on my phone, so I can actually look up my points champions from last year. Thunder Valley, Serena Johnson won Pee-wees. Cole Ballard won juniors. Pro Comp was Mike Crayball, even though Thunder Valley's car count is really kind of poor, but we'll get into that later. Pro 1 ATV was Joe Hibden. He was just absolutely killing them all year. Pro 2 ATV was a big win for Michael Dunleavy. That was awesome to see that. If Cody was here, he would know exactly what I'm talking about. He dethroned Craig McNeil, which is really hard to do. Even though Craig McNeil did miss the first race of the season because his dad died. But, I mean, other than that, Mike still won the points. I'm going to look up the Silverback.
Now, while he's doing that, I'm gonna do a little mention on some upcoming stuff or some records over the summer. A lot of them falling. Like you guys said with Gorilla's Buggy, he continues to drop. I believe that's the B Buggy record he's on right now, isn't it? Or is that the
Who is it?
Scott Gorilla.
Oh, he's the gas buggy.
Okay, gas buggy record holder. And he continues every year trying to lower it little by little. Then you have, obviously, with Sport Modified, you have Jason Benson taking the ET end of both the two-wheel drive and the four-wheel drive renditions of that class. We left A Sport Modified, and then we added A Sport four-wheel drive this year, added a four-wheel drive of each of the classes, because I was expecting to see out of Puerto Rico El Heredero drop that record into the O's before they ended up stretching the wheelbase after their crash last fall. Because that car was running in the low teens regularly at their test and tune events.
Which
Then
car
you
was
have
that?
the El Heredero. It was when it came to Gravel Rama, it was a naturally aspirated Honda. It's got a pro modified record under its belt as the fastest naturally aspirated 6-cylinder door car in the sand.
Oh yeah,
Correct.
that was awesome.
Well,
yeah, that thing is super quick.
That winter, they went and put a turbo on that car. And the following 2 years, that car had been dipping into the teens at their testing tunes, but we'd never get it at a race backing up those runs.
No.
And it was still the same short wheelbase. It could have taken the A Pro modified record real easily. And just to give the heavier weight cars, because a lot of the early sport modified cars are all four-wheel drive units. So we added the four-wheel drive rendition of that class, just kind of open it up a little bit. Which currently mile per hour is still Brian Harrison's, ET is now Jason Benson's, and there's a lot of cars, especially up there in Michigan, and then hell, even the Outlaw Pro Stocks, if they were to be geared right from the MRA to run 300 feet, could easily probably topple that.
For sure. I found Silverback's points winners just real quick. Pee Wee's points winner. Isabel, how do you say that? Penoyer? I know
Penoyer.
Penoyer. Isabel Penoyer, Pee Wee's points champion. Junior's points champion. Bria Van Vielen?
Veelen.
Bria Van Vielen. Yep. I'll cut out my
She's related to the guy with that orange and that creamsicle looking orange and white square body with long travel long box, Chevy long box.
Okay.
Really good group of people. Glad to see them getting deeper and deeper into it.
Yep.
He has to put an intake and a carburetor on it this fall or this winter.
So Pee Wee's points winner, Isabel Penoyer. Junior's points winner, Bria Van Vielen. Excuse me. Pro points winner, Dean Dangermond. Yeah. I didn't know Dean. Yep. Oh no, it wasn't Dean. I'm sorry. No, it wasn't. Oh. They got this too close together. I couldn't hardly read it. It was Tyler Coker. Or wait, hold on. What is this? Okay, so I guess they both won their class, but they just like jumble all the points together. It's kind of confusing. I don't know why. So it says pro points series. And at the very top it says Tyler Coker, but it says class pro ATV. And then Dean Dangermond says
so they take all the
pro car.
When you run in a pro class, whether it's pro ATV, pro comp, whatever at Silverback, that's all under the pro point series. So there's a sportsman point series champion and there's a pro points series champion. So just because you're running pro ATV, and you win, you could never run the guys in second and third if they're running pro car classes. So it's interesting. It really is.
So there's only one.
It makes for some really interesting things happening. Right. Yep, just one pro champ.
That's crazy. So Tyler Coker was your pro points champion then. That's crazy because he was the top of pro ATV and the top of pro comp was Dean Dangermond. Was it PI? Was it Pro Index? I'm guessing.
Yeah, I think so.
Pro Index, Rick Insing.
Yes, insane.
Rick
Shout
Insing.
out to Jay Blanchard. J Wire Solutions is doing some tuning on that car, and they have just scratched the surface, and that thing is fast.
Oh, Insing's car.
Yes, yeah, very much so. I think there's
awesome.
a lot left in that thing.
Sweet. And then top of pro truck looks like it was Chad Roos by 1 point over Tom Hartman. That's crazy.
Yep.
Tom Hartman's he's a fucking dog, dude. He's a legend. In a sportsman point series, there you have it right there. First place, John Sorg in sport comp. Chad Coker, second place in sport comp. So there you go. That's your silverback points series champions of 2023. And then I'm going to look up did the Outlaw, they had to have. Outlaw had to post one.
Yeah, the Outlaw series, it's in the group. I pulled that up earlier.
I'm looking at, oh, did you read them all already?
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Well, Damian did that.
Ryan Wilson ended up on the top of the board for 350. Outlaw, let's see. Outlaw bracket. I forgot that class, which used to be Nickel Nightmare class. I had a bit of a hold on for a few years.
And why don't they just call it Nickel Nightmare? Why did they change the
Well,
name?
they changed the way they ran the class because originally the class and their original pitch was we're going to keep people from sandbagging.
Oh, God.
That was the original pitch.
We get into that already.
Just go get that guy's timing system and you'll figure it all out. You'll figure it all out. Just go get that guy's fucking timing system.
But here's the thing. They were like, oh, we'll keep people from sandbagging by making them dial off of what they ran. We'll dial you a half-tenth quicker than what you ran in your time pass. And anyone knows if that time pass is in the daylight and the first round is after dark, you're picking up a tenth.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I mean, they're like, oh, perfect. I'll do that all day. I will most definitely. I accept these terms of service and use.
But that was the idea behind Nickel. And unless the guy next to me red lighted, there was not a pass I didn't paddle all year in eliminations. And there was people that accidentally hit the lock button on my car.
So who won the 2023 points for Outlaw bracket?
Michael Robbins
Michael
dominated.
Robbins.
He won at Cleves. He won at Michigan. There was no one that could touch him, even if he didn't even show up at the last race. There was no one that would have caught him that night.
Honestly, if I had to make a top 10 list of sand drag bracket racers in the country, there's no way I'm going to leave off Michael Robbins on that list because he's every time I go to a race and he's there, he's winning it or very rarely getting second place.
That's the one big thing down here in this area. And there's not a single gimme anymore in this area. Even the guys in the stock beat up trucks are out there cutting O-lights.
Man, that's insane. So that was our recap of 2023. We're gonna take another quick break, and then we'll be right back with I guess we're gonna do everybody's one thing. So think about your one thing during this little short break, and then we'll be right back with more paddle talk.
Hey, we'll get back to the show in just a second, but this is an ad read for KilbyMotorsports.com and Kilby Chassis Design. KilbyMotorsports.com, mud racing, drag racing, suspension, and chassis tuning, where you can look through all their categories and look for front suspension, rear suspension, tabs and brackets, chassis and suspension tuning, brakes, axle and third members, front and rear end housings, shocks, shifters, headers, pedals and steering columns, as well as safety systems. Right now on their website, they're selling can coolers, Houston and Jesse Freedom t-shirts, and Full Metal Goat hat. a full metal goat hat. Kilby chassis design. And
So what's the weather up there like right now?
So we got probably 2 inches of snow last night throughout today, but it's crap snow. I mean, like and then it rains
wet and
some
sloppy.
of the time. So it's
I mean,
all big,
we've
nasty, heavy wetness.
We've been getting the average of Indiana, Ohio. Oh, hey, it's going to snow tonight. But by 10 o'clock, it's going to be 40 degrees.
Yeah. No,
So we
and
got
so I don't know. This stuff looks like it's going to stay, though, because they're talking like 20s next week. So I think we're in it for the long haul. But
So you guys are about to get your ice storm in.
Yeah, because I guess Canada has just been holding on to a bunch of cold air, and they were like, just going to release it all at once onto America and be like, screw you guys, be cold for a while.
Thanks, Canada.
Yeah, bastards.
I mean, at least it's not like last year where we had that. I can't remember if it was last winter or the year before. There was a volcano that erupted in the South Pacific that basically just deleted the island.
Oh, yeah.
Think about how much ash that puts into the atmosphere, and that's why these last couple of years haven't been ridiculously hot, in all honesty.
Yeah.
We had the ash from the Canadian wildfires this summer. Dude, it was crazy.
Oh,
that was insane.
That was nuts.
That smoke came all the way down here. That smoke
That's
came all the way
nuts.
down here. It was insane.
That was weird.
We had like 3 days, at least here by us, where it was like, it seemed like it was foggy all day, but it wasn't. It was the ash.
You didn't want to go outside because you don't want to breathe that shit.
No. Yeah, that's when I was working outside a lot, and I'm kind of glad I don't anymore, but that's insane.
You need to get yourself one of them top fuel respirators.
No shit. I could have used one of those when I was in 8th grade when we went to Prim, Nevada. My dad took us just to go watch the sand drag races because he knew me and Cody were big fans. And that's when I actually saw that was the race that got put on Lucas Oil on the Edge when Dennis Reich rolled and wrecked his car, and then showed it, and so did Joe Betancourt the same day.
Wasn't that that was the year the Ellingtons and all them went out there, wasn't it?
I don't know.
No, the year that the one that Mike came out to was the year that Super Mink, otherwise known as Gary Mink, speared Nick Janik and took that car out.
Which still the craziest thing, the funniest thing from those trips is the first time that the Steels went out there. You've probably heard this one, Isaac. Benny's at the bottom of the hill on his wheelchair. Everyone's walking by these guys looking at him like they're assholes as they're all laughing at, and this is within a year and a half of Benny's accident. They are ripping into him, calling him all sorts of names as he's trying to get up the sand hill.
That's funny.
You imagine you're in the middle of Nevada or California in the sand, and you just see a bunch of rednecks making fun of a cripple.
I tell you, one of the last years we did Prim, this was like Thursday, and we had the track set up, but I don't think we were running cars on it yet. And also we hear all these cops, and this dude from Glenn Hickey's team was riding this, I'm guessing, I don't know, like late 70s, enduro bike. And he comes ripping around the end of the mall/outlet mall thing, and no shirt on, like cut off jean shorts. And he's just got this thing pegged, and he's dirt tracking it on the pavement around there. And there's 2 cops chasing him. I mean, it's like something straight out of a movie, and everybody's like, "What the heck, man?"
In the car.
It was crazy.
All right, before we get into one thing, everybody's one thing. I'm gonna do an ad read real quick, and this is an ad read with a kind of new sponsor, Colgan Water, your partner for better water you can trust, people you can count on from your free consultation through installation and maintenance. They are here for your every step of the way to get your best drinking water possible. So schedule a free water consultation today by visiting colegan.com and entering in your zip code, and then they'll set up a consultation. Someone will give you a call immediately. You can find water softening systems, reverse osmosis systems, whole house filtrations, water delivery and dispensers, and then even bottleless coolers. So give Colgan a call and reach out to them on their website, Colligan.com. That's CULLIGAN.com. You can also reach them at their phone number, 1-877-386-0823. Once again, that's 1-877-386-0823. Now, everybody's one thing. This is just kind of like where each panelist gives a little bit of exciting news or details from somewhere around their kind of area of the country, but it doesn't really have to be. So that's what that's what everybody's one thing is. It can be good, bad. Either way, we're going to spend a few minutes on each one. So let's go, Isaac. You first with what is your one thing?
So my one thing is getting to see the Pro Truck Elite class run 2 times this summer. Ooh. I'm telling you, man, full body trucks, side by side, heads up. I mean, that has been true. Normally that's been usually only down at Gravel are you going to see stuff like that. And now we're going to have it 2 times this summer at both the Pro Truck races. Really excited. I'm going to make the prediction that I don't know if it'll be both, but at least one. I don't think a 345 is going to get you in the field.
345?
Oh,
I think 345.
8 trucks?
I think
is it 8 trucks
you're going to be bumped.
There's probably
8.
Not counting down here where we've got a handful that can make the ballpark, but just in Michigan alone, there's 12 or 13 trucks, Jeeps, and Broncos, full body, quote unquote door cars without doors, that can run in the 320, 330 ballpark all day long. Obviously,
100%, man. And that's without anybody that's kind of off the radar showing up, which I've got to believe at some point. And seriously, I mean, it's literally free entry and you can win $1,000. I mean, where else are you going to do
entry,
that?
Huh?
Yep.
You show up, you enter test and tune. If you're the fastest door slammer on the property, you're in the class.
Isaac, what are the rules to that class, real quick?
So rules are pretty basic. You have to have a time slip from that day. So you've got to. It's okay. So maybe it's not free because you'll have to pay to run time trials at Silverback, but I think that's traditionally like $40, and it's the fastest 8 time slips of the night. It's got to be full bodied. It's got to have either 2 seats or the ability to have 2 seats. So no center seater stuff. Ideally, we'd love to see hood and front grille and everything. Minimum front fenders, grill. There might be a waiver if somebody's got a really legit reason for not being able to get a hood on, or something like that, that sort of thing. But that's the idea. And after that, it's whatever. I mean, there's no, it's just the 8 fastest guys on the property with stuff that'll fit that rule package. I tell you what, it's heads up. It's exciting. I mean, so Michael McCord's truck with Jason Benson driving won it last year. He almost didn't get out of the first round because Dave Kramer treed the absolute tar out of him and outran him for probably 280 foot out of the 300.
I actually remember watching that race on your live feed. That was insane. I was like, dude, he treed the absolute shit out of him. He won that race. So whenever I saw McCord's light come on, I was like, that's.
But yeah, up there, Vanderbilt.
But it was like that. It was like that every round.
Man, that's just gonna be such a great class.
To hopefully more of the Kleinschmidt and Hayfield shootout and
yes,
all them guys, because you have Swaggers, you have obviously Benson and McCord's, with McCord's new truck coming around. That's going to be one that's right there. Vanderbilt's Black Pro Charge truck, Wine Time, if they put a front clip on the thing.
They
Right
had
there's just five,
one there,
not
and
even.
it broke.
Oh, Wine Time did?
Yeah. Yep. They had a
I
front
didn't
clip
even know it was
fit.
there that day.
Yep. They broke Pete Rockwell with that blown ejected Bronco, that full size. They were there as well, and they broke a center section. There's another truck that's definitely quick that wasn't even in that field. I mean, absolutely.
Earl gets a crankshaft in his truck. That thing's always a contender for that kind of stuff. Earl Etner's got that little
Guy
S10.
Wagner. Yep. Guy Wagner needs a crankshaft for his motor.
I've heard he's getting some bigger heads too.
Yeah.
He's getting all sorts of fancy stuff done. He just has to put the front end on it though for that class.
That is correct. Yep. And he has a front clip for it. So
he's never cut it to fit.
Also true, but you know what? He's got time, and
Oh yeah, he got the ability. That drive shaft at the Outlaws race tried to take everything out. It even tried to go for him a little bit because it ripped the upper part of the drive shaft loop out that was right next to his seat.
Yeah, that thing. He has a gorgeous Pro Mod rear end going into that thing. It is a TIG welded work of art. It's a shame it's going to be underneath the car.
Then Gary Golimsky, there's a Ranger right there that easily could be in that ballpark if it's running.
Absolutely. Also, yes.
All right, so sorry about that. Isaac's one thing basically was Pro Truck Elite is going to be badass.
Pro Truck Elite, absolutely, man.
Yeah, it's going to be exciting to watch. Definitely looking forward to your coverage on that. Damian, what is your one thing?
One squirrel, buddy.
One squirrel. I'd have to say it's all the records that are looking to be chased this year because, and this isn't even in my area. You have Tristan Graham out on the West Coast. They just put a Hemi in their buggy to go after the AA buggy record they've been chasing for years.
That's so insane. He posted pictures of that just a couple days ago, and oh my!
Oh yeah,
it's insane.
That is so awesome, though. Hey,
and then just around the country, there's so many different cars being built to chase after different records. You have, God damn it, I can never remember his name, but he's got the big Apache truck, and then he's got the little sport truck that Blaine Kilby
Adam Ross.
Adam Ross. He's trying to gun for the 4-wheel drive record eventually. Farwick with a small blocks within a tenth of it.
Man,
but that's a long way to go when you're sub 3 seconds.
Man, but Farwick with that small block is just very impressive. What was it? What was that number? What was that number he ran in SoCal?
2.7 something. But I'm going to use the term small block awful loosely on that one because the block's custom.
Everybody wants to give him shit about it, but if it fits, it fits.
Oh,
that's right.
It checks out at Gravel-Rama as a small block.
It's taken a long time to get that car to that level, but it's moving.
Yeah, well, very much so. Well, that actually went a lot quicker than I thought. So basically, Damian's one thing is records are about to be broken. Records are meant to be broken. That's what it all means.
That's right.
That's why Caleb and Damian made 10,000 records. So there could be 10,000 of them broken.
I get grief for that all the time. That you got a record for everything. We need a ladder bar class. We need this class. We need that.
No, wait,
class.
whoa.
Calm down. Someone asked me to make a ladder bar class.
Is it twin turbos with twin ladder bars or single?
There we go.
Twins with two ladder bars. I won't say the color or the body style.
I think I got a message. I think I got a message from the same person who asked, why isn't there records for suspensions? Hold on, we're all choppy. Hold on. I don't know why it does this. It must be a Zoom thing.
I mean, there's a storm rolling through here right now, so.
Oh, okay. Repeat what you just said, Damian.
But the ladder bar class, there's people that have been, one person in particular messaged me about a ladder bar class. I'll not say any more hints than I've already said for these guys here. Don't need to. The suspension thing is one of those, oh, we're going to do that. Until someone just puts a really stiff spring on a dragster with a Hemi and puts a ladder bar on it just to say it's got a ladder bar. It just.
There would be so much policing to come down to a ladder bar record or records pertaining,
the way we design
just pertain to like suspension design records. That's just way too much. That's way too much. Like your dad, that's like your dad saying we need weight limits. It's like, I'm not going.
I would love to put weight limits into effect, but then we would only be able to have records at the events that we are at, and we would have to have a set of scales, each of us, that we would take to each race.
Exactly.
If someone sets a record, we'd have to run the scales over there right after that pass, weigh them right then.
Test the fuel, all that. Well, yeah. I mean, I that's why we do the honor system, because if you really have to like cheat and lie and sand drags get by, and you're kind of just like you ain't doing shit with your life. What are you doing? I mean, nobody's getting rich off this. So, yeah. So, I mean, honor system trumps all, I think, because when it comes down to it, if we don't think your record's legit, we just won't accept it. We've done it before, plenty of times.
Oh yeah, there's a reason that the guys in the Middle East don't have a mile per hour record. They're running the 300 feet, but when their mile per hours come up and we convert them from kilometers to miles per hour, all of a sudden it's saying they're doing 200 miles an hour running a 2.6.
Yeah, that's no way. I mean, even with that sand they got over there, there's just no way.
Right.
No, not possible.
I'll make this a little bit quick. My one thing is that I kind of touched on it earlier, but I'm kind of excited to not be track staff this year. Is that kind of shitty and selfish of me? I don't know. I'll figure that out later. But this has been like, I mean, I wouldn't say I've done a whole lot for the track, but yeah, last year I was all in it, and I was kind of a dick, and I didn't want to be about that. I want to have fun, and I want to enjoy myself, and I'm trying to show my kid, who I poisoned into liking this sport, to also enjoy it as well. Just as much. I mean,
it's cheaper than a drug addiction.
It is. It very much.
Are you sure?
Depends who you ask.
A gallon of gas is cheaper than a bottle of booze, is what they say. So,
it can be. Depends how much you use.
I'll say, last time I checked, Boone's Farm was like $8.99 a bottle, and C12's $20 a gallon. So,
I mean, we've been running a Cam 2 that's $10 a gallon.
My mini bike takes 93, so I'm pretty good right there.
Hey, we'll kick it back to the show in just a second. Quick ad read for SM Engineering. SM Engineering design, build, test. Sam McCrary, Pro Mod Sam, our boy. He's a big-time supporter of WSDN. He offers flowed fuel systems, dyno testing, fuel management, tune-ups, consulting, race pack and data acquisitions, wiring, and mechanical services. Hit up Sam McCrary, promodsam@gmail.com. That's PROMODSAM @gmail.com. ProModSam. You can also reach him at 740-361-0969. SM Engineering. Design, build, test.
We're going to wrap up the show. Our first paddle talk show. We're about to wrap it up. That's pretty cool. We're going to talk, and we're going to let's make this kind of quick. as possible. All we're gonna do is like a quick preview opinion from everybody about Dome Valley coming up, and then you just pick. I don't care. You pick one person who you think's gonna win their class. I don't care who it is. I don't care what class it is. You just pick that person. Pick somebody and pick their class. If you don't know who is out there, really, just say Caleb Minks. No,
I'm gonna go with Randy.
There you go.
Okay, so that's a good one. So all right, our race picks and race preview of Dome Valley coming up right now. I guess I'll start this because I made you guys start all the other ones. My preview opinions on this is that I don't think there's another person, maybe besides Silverback, maybe besides Jeff Gio. Yeah, in Louisiana. But I don't think there is another track doing more for their track. I don't think there's another owner doing more for their track than what's going on in Dome Valley. Like that dude, Esteban, is a freaking baller. He is like putting in extra time at work to put money in these payouts. He's finding these sponsors. He's spending like a lot of time, almost putting in like 60, 80-hour weeks on top of his job and Dome Valley just to go out there and find these sponsors, putting his own money in these payouts. It's just really cool to see that. I don't really know if he's putting his own money in it, but I just see how hard he's working because he's always messaging me. He's messaging Caleb questions about what he can do here, what he can do there. And then, I mean, I'm not really an expert, but I just give him my opinion and they kind of just roll with that. And I think it's really cool what Dome Valley's got going on. And I think Dome Valley is going to be the premier sand drag facility in the next couple of years as soon as his hard work's all said and done. So yeah, I'll pass this on. I'll pass this on to Damian.
Times.
I'll pass it to Damian.
Dome Valley's definitely been there a few times. One of the premier tracks in the country. They quick turnaround. They bust their ass. Beautiful facility. They keep that track hooking hard. Really on predicting a winner out there. I'm gonna go with an easy one. I'm gonna go Randy Mings in the ATV stuff.
Randy Mings.
Got to go against Caleb a little bit.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Randy's cooler anyway. Randy is Randy. And shout out to Randy Mings. Randy Mings just retired. Shout out to Randy. I know he's been working for that. Shout out to the cactus coolers that he always likes to get whenever I visit out there. I can't wait to have one actually next time I see him. So yeah. Oh, jacket's coming off. Oh, well, he disappeared. It's just his engine now. So, Isaac, what's your? Okay, former John just joined us here, folks.
I mean, if it was a flannel, it'd be red green.
Isaac, talk.
So
about
I'm gonna go with a guy that I know, and they're a solid run team. I'm gonna go Tommy Zavala for my pick.
You stole my pick, actually. Damn, that's a good one. Tommy Zavala for top eliminator, right?
Yes. Yep.
Yeah.
There's a guy that puts in some miles to go to some strange races.
Man, I wouldn't say strange. Well, okay, maybe strange to us.
Yeah,
races kind of sketchy.
I mean, it'd be a little sketchy because we had that skin tone, but I mean,
sketchy because hey, look, there's the crowd 10 feet away. There's a berm.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, you've seen the videos of Georgia, so I don't need to say anything else.
Yeah. Well, there's guys racing down there that ain't wearing helmets running faster than my Jeep.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy. But shout out to Tommy Zavala, though. That's a great pick.
Okay.
Tommy Zavala going to Mexico and winning the races down there and just competing down there in Mexico in general is just really cool. I'm actually going to stick in the same class as you. And since you stole my pick, I'm going to go with my number 2 to win this race in top eliminator. And I'm going to pick my dog, Terry Crawford, Yabba Dabba Doo. He's an animal. I love that guy. I hope he's going. I haven't heard if he's going or not, but he's from Vegas. I don't know why he wouldn't. But if he's going, that's my guy. Terry Crawford, Yabba Dabba Doo.
If you had picked Tommy Zavala, my backup was Mark Pujols.
Oh, so. That's even funnier. So yeah, that's even funnier. You know, honestly, if you think about the top eliminators field in Dome this weekend, Zavala, Crawford, Pujols, Nafziger, the guy who drives for Crawford. Yeah. I seen Nick Schultzman's going too. So I don't know.
He is.
I don't know. I doubt he's running top eliminator, but I seen he's going. So he's definitely looking at the top alcohol alter record this weekend. Whenever your computer fixes, you need to repeat that.
Well, heck,
yeah, that'd be a good spot for him to go after it. So
yeah,
is the Fast 4/8 fuel record gonna fall?
I don't know if any of those guys are going.
Because you know exactly who I'm talking about.
Oh yeah. I mean, I don't know.
Close.
I don't know if Mario's gonna go out there or not.
Understandably,
it would be cool because Mario's got a one-of-a-kind car that I don't think anybody's gonna be able to keep up with once it's all said and done. But at the same time, those boys in Michigan, road racing, are they're geniuses when it comes to the Fast 4 life. So
yeah, but as much as I love the Rose, I don't see them getting the Fast 4's record back with a Volkswagen.
No, I mean, technically, they don't even own that engine anymore. They sold that engine to, damn, his name's Jim. He runs that red buggy.
Du Hast buggy.
Huh?
Du Hast is the name of the car.
Jim
No.
Oh, I thought that was who they sold.
He runs with Roe. What's his name? I feel so.
It's a twin to the blue car, and it's the Du Hast car, ain't it?
I think it is. Man,
I believe that is a Gorski of some kind.
That red car, that red burgundy car. What is his name? He's got that wiring. Man, that's gonna kill me. I can't remember his name.
But no, I want to see Mario's little 4-cylinder Hemi. I want to see it with a blower on it, just to hear the sound it makes.
Hold on, I'm gonna find out.
Be interesting. I think what you're going to see with Mario's car is going to be very similar to Landro's tires.
Well, that's the record.
He had that Hemi V6, and they just dominated the Ford 6-cylinder class for years.
Which that is the record there.
And I think Mario's car is going to be the next car like that, to where he'll be able to enter other classes with it, and in theory be outgunned. But yeah,
I mean, it'll be nice to have an extra.
I mean, let's face it, man.
Alcohol range.
I could very much see that car and being very competitive out there.
Oh, totally. Because he's literally, when he set the Fast 4 record last year, he was within a couple hundreds of beating Keith's a fuel record as well.
That's insane, because nobody ever thought that number would be touched.
Mm-hmm.
Jim Lancour.
That's it.
Jim Lancour is that guy.
Oh yeah.
He's the engine in that buggy is the engine that Rowe ran the 259 with. That's the same engine.
They had two of those motors because they had one in the blue car and one in the dragster that were almost identical.
But now they just moved the one out of the blue one into the dragster, and the one out of the dragster they sold to Jim Lancour.
And last year they detuned the hell out of it just to run King of the Outlaws.
What was that, Isaac?
What's going into the blue car then? Unknown?
I assume that they swapped that engine back and forth from the dragster to the blue car.
I'd say they just went to the dragster
Sure.
just for consistency, because that's the one thing about that buggy is it had a tendency to go where it wanted down track.
Yeah.
Whereas that dragster 99% of the time is going A to B, no matter how fast it's going.
To answer that question that you had, Isaac, about what's going in the blue car, I don't really know. But a couple years ago, I was hearing 2JZ talks, rumors from someone. I can't remember who it was, but I remember 2JZ being thrown around and Rowe's name being associated with it for the dragster. But that's just what I hear. Who really knows? So we're actually gonna end the show on that note. We'll be back next week with another second episode ever of our Paddle Talk podcast. I kind of want to do something fun at the end of every show, but since this one was kind of like put together late because I was kind of frantically freaking out about setting up the Zoom and the recording stuff.
Thank God for the picture and background thing.
I don't really have anything except I want to do. The only thing I can think of right now is let's play rock paper scissors, all three of us on the screen.
All right, let's go.
All right, here we go. Rock paper scissors shoot. You ready? Okay, here we go. Rock paper scissors.
Rock
shoot.
Scissors shoot. Wait, I can't see Bowers. I have no idea what he has.
He's cheating. Oh, we all had scissors. God damn it. All right, here we go. You know, new method. I'll just show what I have and you guys say shoot. Here we go.
All right.
Go.
Oh. None of us want to do it.
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
Oh, we beat him.
Mr. Fury.
Whatever. Okay, that's good enough. All right. See you guys next week.